What's up, y'all? What's up? Hammer here again, back with another live stream, impromptu live stream. This was unplanned. I did not plan for this. Um, as you guys already know, I've not been uploading as much live streams. I've been kind of busy recently. So once in a while, when I'm in the mood, I'll just upload a video or do a live. Um, Now, I was not planning to do this actually. What inspired this live stream was that there were actually two things, right? Um, One is recently, I think maybe a couple of days ago, I actually went on a panel. Well, I went on a panel and I was specifically talking to a group of black men online on YouTube, right? These are black men who essentially support Trump, tap dance for Trump. And I'm like, if you ask them directly, they may deny it, but if you push them hard enough, they'll admit it. But really, it's a panel of black men. Really, it's a group, a coalition of black men online that I sometimes listen to, but they went hard for Trump. And I essentially went on the panel and kind of challenge them on these views because I'm listening to them and the rhetoric and trying to get more understanding as to what's going on. And of course, when I was on that panel, it was a bunch of foolishness. But let me just say this, right? It wasn't just that panel of black men that caused me to um um I guess it wasn't just that panel of black men that caused me to make this video. It's make I guess do this live stream. It was also so once again, it wasn't just the panel of black men that caused me to make this live stream, do this live stream. It's also the fact that the rhetoric and the narratives these black men were saying is very similar to the rhetoric that I hear from black people in general, both male and female, who support and tap dance for Trump or tap dance for the Republican Party and the GOP. And so what caused me this live was two things. One, this group of black men who I listened to, who I've kind of listened here and there, and a lot of them support Donald Trump, and I came on the panel trying to kind of challenge the Trump stance. One, and number two, a lot of the rhetoric and so they say in regards to the support for Trump, Republican Party, and the GOP. So a lot of the pro-Trump, pro-GOP, pro-Republican Party stance is a lot of the rhetoric I hear from black people that tend to support Donald Trump, tend to support the GOP. So I guess from black people, black men and black who support Trump and GOP. So I felt like this live stream would allow me to essentially kind of, I guess knock two birds with one stone. So although the original idea to make this live stream was because of that panel of black men who is pro Trump, it's not the only reason, right? It's not just that specific panel of black men is pro Trump. Is that a lot of the rhetoric that these black men who are pro Trump are saying is a lot of the same rhetoric that you will hear black men and black women who support Trump and the Republican Party also say. So I felt like this live stream will allow me to address them. This live stream will allow me to address those specific group of black men who are pro-Trump, tap dance for Trump, as well as black people in general who tap dance for Trump and tap dance for the Republican Party and the GOP. So when I came on this panel, I essentially asked them, okay, so why do you guys essentially support Donald Trump? We got someone in the chat here. We got Kua Obeng. She says, so let us see the FBA. That's not real. That they were lied to. That the Trump civils one and her. Yeah, it just and did this the reason why I feel like this live stream had to be made. Because I felt like it's not just the rhetoric from these group of black men whether it is AB Media, BGS, and all that kind of stuff. But is that a lot of the rhetoric that these black men are saying, whether it's for pro-Trump, pro-Republican Party, is a rhetoric I see a lot of just black people in general, black men and female, who say that kind of rhetoric when it comes to just for Trump and the GOP. So I felt, okay, let me address this narrative or this entire rhetoric of black people in general who are out here tap dancing with Trump, tap dancing with the GOP, tap dancing with the party, right? So thank you for that. But going back to what I was saying, so I came on this panel and I asked them, okay, so you guys are pro-Trump supporters, you guys believe in Donald Trump and Republican Party, fine. So what exactly is Trump offering you guys, right? Black men specifically, right? And I only said that because I was in the panel of black men, but I will say black men and black people in general. And essentially, the response was insane, right? Some dude came out and said, well, he's offering us crypto. What? Then another dude came out and said, well, he's putting money in your pockets. What? And all of a sudden, another statement came out talking about how the Democrats are just giving you welfare and putting your single mothers in section. And I'm just like, this is the rhetoric. And the crazy part is that they actually believe this stuff. But to be honest, I don't believe. Like, look, I believe a lot of black folks who actually believe that rhetoric. But I think for these specific black men, it's a whole lot deeper than that, right? So it was just a bunch of dumb shit from crypto to welfare to they put in money in your pockets, all kinds of dumb stuff, right? And of course, all of that is just dumb. Like, first of all, crypto's not going to do nothing for black men. Just keep it real. When it comes to they're gonna put money in your pockets. What does that mean? Trump right now is doing this whole tariff thing, which is destroying the economy. So that's not putting money in your pockets. So it's just that there was nothing going on. And the fact that they even brought the whole, well, the Democrats are giving you welfare. Okay, they've been giving us welfare. That's something, right? That's something. So it was craziness. I would say the only person that at least made, I think, some degree of an argument was BGS more. I think he's the only one that made somewhat of an intelligent argument when he came out and said that, hey, first, yes, he understands that Republicans, Trump, are not offering black people anything, particularly black men, anything, but that what they're doing is going to hurt a lot of the non-black people, right? And the argument he was coming at, and I kind of get what is that, Democrats essentially use black people's grievances, right, as essentially sort of a social capital to then push the policies through. But that social capital gets spent on everybody else with black people. So, we gotta, pass this policy for because of systemic racism or Jim Crow or oppression, but the policy is aimed towards the white LGBT or the white women. So I get where he's coming from on that. And his argument is, okay, Trump is not going to offer anything, but at least by him going at DI and doing that kind of stuff is going to hurt these other group of folks. I guess stop them from being able to, I guess, benefit off black people's grievances. Right? Okay, fine. So that was the only, I guess, decent argument that was made. But my pushback to that, of course, I wasn't allowed to push back here, is that, okay, but the problem is that's not really how it's going to play. Yes, of course, we know that DI, affirmative action, that kind of stuff benefits mostly non-black people, like for example, white women. We know that. But we already know that those folks, whether it's a white LGBT, white women, a lot of these non-black people, right, they were already in a better position anyway. That just gave them a boost, right? All those programs. And truth be told, you essentially benefited from black men, essentially benefited from those things as well. Okay, let's not pretend as if a black man and black. Now, but yes, it's the same thing with affirmative action, right? Yes, is it true that white females benefited more? Yes, but black people benefited too, maybe less, but too. And AB Media, here it is. Yes, AB. I'm like, look, you can make live. I can make lives too. But don't worry. Let me go ahead and finish a monologue, and then when I'm finished, maybe I'll go ahead and open the panel. We'll see who comes through. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this. I'll just go ahead and put this here early. We'll see how it plays out. And so my argument really to BGS, my response to it, okay, but here's the issue. What's going to end up happening is that, yes, they may roll back those programs, but those folks are still going to be okay. White women are still going to be, because they're still white in this country. They may get hit, but they'll still be fine. Almost be fine. But it's going to be black folks, black men, black people in general, who are going to get hit because why? You were already starting behind. Those things at least was something you were getting. Now that's gone. So not only are those groups going to still be fine in general, but whatever little benefits you were getting is going to be gone. But then on top of that, they're going to actively be more hostile towards you. Look, Donald Trump going against DI has not stopped Republicans and the GOP from framing DI as black folks. And it's getting to a point where now they have made DI and black people inseparable. That's what it's getting to. If we see a black doctor walk into a room, he's DI. If we see a black mechanic, he's DI. A black governor, he's DI or she's DI. They never wanted black folks to be in them positions anyway. That's what you understand. And what Shona says, like, even the reason why those benefits went to those non-black people is because they didn't want them in your hands anyway. So the point is, okay, fine, they may get more, but at least, you still get something out of that. Now what's going to end up happening is not only is it that the few benefits and resources that you are getting from those programs are going to be gone. But once again, white women and non-black people are still going to be fine, right? But the few benefit and resources you are getting is going to be gone. And then on top of that, they're going to be more even hostile towards you. They're going to be more emboldened. That's what you're not thinking about. When I'm seeing videos of white dudes not being more bold, calling folks the N-word, all that kind of stuff, that energy is not going to be directed towards the actual, I guess you could say, majority beneficial DI. They're still going to go at you because it never mattered who the real beneficiaries were. They didn't think that they did not want you to get anything anyway. So even that rhetoric of, oh well, him going at DI is gonna specifically hurt these non-black groups. Yeah, yes and no. Yes, would they lose more opportunities? Yes. But the problem is they already had an advantage. Like, do you really believe that DI being cut is somehow gonna make black men and white women equal in this country? What are you saying right now? Even with that being gone, there'll still be white females. They're still going to have more than you. They're still tied to white will and power. So they may have a little bit less, but they'll still have more than you. So yes, all these other groups who will benefit will get hurt, but they'll still be in a better position. But what's going to happen is that black folks, particularly black men, the little that they were getting is going to be gone, and now you're going to become even more of a target. Now they're going to go at you even harder. Now you're going more bolder against you. So in the end, cutting off DI is not really going to hurt those non-black people in the long term because it'll be fine. It's just going to lead to black people losing the little they have and black people being more of a target. And you're already seeing that with them talking about, if I see a black surgeon, that's DI. Now, you know damn well what they're really saying is, we don't care if 0.1% of these benefits are going to black people. We don't even care if it's just 1% of benefits going to black people. 1% of y'all getting anything is a problem. That's what it's always been. That's what you don't get. They're not going to go to war with white women. That's not what's going to happen. Yeah, they may, she may get hurt a little bit. Yeah, but at the end of this process, it's going to be black folks that are going to be the center of the attack. You know this, BGS. So even that rhetoric, that argument falls flat because we know that in the long term, what's going to end up happening is that at the end of the day, those folks, even with the benefits being cut, will still be in a good position, and it's going to end up being black people not only losing whatever little benefits they had, but they're going to be the ones, once again, being the most targeted, facing the most attack, facing the most consequence and pressure from all of this. So no, you're wrong. In terms of his anti-DI policies hurting those folks more. No, it's not going to hurt. It will only hurt non-black people in the short term. In the long term, they'll be able to survive and be fine because they're non-black. But in the long term, whatever programs or benefits black people had, they'll lose that. And black folks are going to be the more hostile environment. They're going to be much more targeted at. So in the long term, it's going to be black folks who are going to be the ones suffering the most from this entire anti-DI ordeal, anti-woke ordeal. You know this. But let me check some of the comments before I continue. Really, boy, yeah. Okay, so still there. Hammer, do you know about the Jew middle school video? This aspect of who made the black girl, she was unconscious for this is the future of black America. Yes. Now, I believe Amazing Lucas made the video. Now, according to Amazing Lucas, it happened in a place that's a majority Hispanic demographically. I think so. It's like Hispanic, white, I think, and black almost at the bottom. So I'm like, yeah. I thought about, look, a lot of these groups are already anti-black. But the problem is that they get to play a buffer class position because, okay, as long as they say, hey, we're not with the Negroes, they'll get elevated a little bit over black people. And I will say to the extent you're seeing them complaining now is because they feel like white folks are going a little harder on them compared to what they would expect. But, their buffer class status has still not been. It may be hurt a little bit more now because white folks are going at them a little more now, but it's still there. Buffer class status is still there for them. What else is new? I'm like, this is the response of me talking about the anti-blackness in the GOP is, who cares? What else is new? Okay. These are non-blacks who will be the majority in the future, and they are open house to black people if black people don't get it right. When the world, that's right. That's 100% correct. Now, do I think it'll be as bad as white folks? I'm like, I don't think so, but it'll still be bad still. Once again, what else is new? So what I'm like, there's the response to black people being. This is crazy. Black people being undermined. A media, this is probably not given much thought, but I promise you, black people will be politically relevant, and not pretend Democrats are going to doing. If Democrats are doing, okay, so let's just go back and forth. So yes, that's what's going on, right? That's what's going on. And so with that being addressed, then we go now into the conversation, and I'm probably not going to be here for that long, but we then now go into the conversation of Republicans versus Democrats. Right? What's the difference, right? Republicans and Democrats are essentially the two sides of the same coin, right? They're essentially the two wings of white supremacy. The way I view it is, I guess the way it is Republicans are a much more, I guess you could say, blatant version, I guess openly version of white supremacy, and Democrats are a much more, I guess you could say, nicer version of it, right? So that means that either way, you're still going to be dealing with it. But black people are on the left and deal with the left, which is the Democratic Party right now. The reason black people tend to align with the Democrats, which is the more left wing, is because black people understand, and this is a reality, which is that because Democrats are the most nicer version of white supremacy, they at least allow black people to have a political space in the party. You can at least exist in the party. You can at least advocate for the party. You cannot do that in the GOP. Now, it's still white supremacy. So in other words, in the end, yes, would they put more resources towards non-black people? Yes. In the end, will you still get undermined? Yes. All those things will still happen. But you at least will be given a space and you'll at least get something. It may not be what you want. It may not be everything you ask for, but you'll at least get something. You'll at least get a space for yourself. Compared to the other side is nothing. Once again, it's not a coincidence that the only party that has a black president is Democrats. The party where you see more black people who are elected in high office, whether it's governorship, senators, House representatives, governors, all that stuff is typically like there's a higher chance of you seeing a black person who's in the senator, who's a House representative on the Democratic side compared to the Republican side. There's a reason for that. It doesn't mean that Democrats are not a foreign white supremacy. They are, right? They are still a foreign supremacy. But the difference is that they're a more nicer version. They at least allow black people to have a space in that party and at least get something. That's why. Okay? So when folks ask why, and by the way, the majority of black people on the Senate agree with this. That's what I hate about AB media and all this being like, why can't BGS and AB on them folks? The majority of black people do not agree with this rhetoric. Most black folks see Trump and the Republican Party for what they are, a white nationalist movement. And for them, they really take two choices, right? Most of them are either going to vote Democrat or just stay home. But they're not going to go to the GOP or Trump en masse. And what you saw this election, okay, many of them may have stayed home. But they didn't go for Trump because they know what he's about. And trust and believe, if the Democrats put a better candidate or it's a candidate that's much more appealing next time around, they'll come for Democrats. Most black people are not naive. They know what Trump GOP is. In fact, I will make the argument that black people tend to be way more conservative in general. But even if they're more conservative, look, black folks don't support the LGBT shit. Let's just be honest, they don't support that gay shit. They don't. But the reason why we're on the left is because we understand that that's the only place we can politically exist. We can't exist on the right. Even though we're socially conservative, we're more conservative in general, we understand the right wing doesn't believe in conservative values. The white wing prioritizes whiteness over everything. I'll give you an example. It's the conservative party, but for the most part, they're not challenging gay marriage. They're not going after gay marriage. Even the whole trans are not going after that. Think about this. The white LGBT has more political space on the Republican Party than black people do. Let me say it again. The white LGBT has more political space in the GOP, Republican Party, even amongst Trump, than black people do. So they make it very clear that it has nothing to do with conservative values. It's always been about whiteness first. Democrats about whiteness first, but they do it in a much more nicer way where you can at least exist in the party. So we gotta be honest here. All this rhetoric that you, AB, and them do is a bunch of nonsense. You know very well the vast majority of black people in this country know the GOP and Trump or white nationalist movement. They know they can't exist in that party. They even know that the Republican Party, despite all the rhetoric of traditional conservative values, they even know that the Republicans are more open to allowing white gays in there before they allow black folks, even if they're conservative. And they allow, quote unquote, black conservatives. They're not really black conservatives. They end up being black folks who carry water for white supremacy. We know this. So not only do white LGBT have more space in that party than black people do, they're even allowed to promote their own, they're even allowed to promote their interests in that party. Even though their interests in LGBT go against the actual supposed conservative values. But at the end of the day, they're white, so it's cool. That's how you know that the whiteness takes precedence over everything else. Right? Good cop, bad cop. Republicans are at the bad cop, Democrats are good cop. And so if you're in the police state and you got to deal with if you're in the police state and you got to interact with the cops, who would you rather interact with? The bad cop or the good cop? You know the good cops, but you're rather the good cop. That's what it is. Okay? So my thing is, please, AB Media and all these tap dancing coons, stop pretending as if you speak for black men. You don't. You don't speak for black men, and you don't speak for black people. And I want to make sure that everything I'm saying doesn't just apply to these black dudes tapping this for Trump. It applies to black people in general who tap this for Trump, whether it's black men or black women. Okay? You're in a white dominated country, you have two options. That's it. One is more nice towards you, one is more hostile. They're both white supremacists, but only one of them allows you to exist in their space. There may be issues. They may promote other groups. They may do all those things, but you can at least be in their space, at least get something from them. You can't get nothing from the other space. Hell, they will allow the white gays to be in them for the allow you in that space. Yes, the white gays are a Democratic Party, but they at least allow you in the space too. So come on. So please, for 80 media, for the black men tapping for Trump, for the black people in general, both black men and black women tapping for Trump, please stop pretending as if you speak with black people. You don't. The vast majority of black people in this country understand Trump and the GOP or white nationalist movement. So most of them go essentially two ways. They're either going to vote Democrat or stay home. Most of them are not going to go to a Republican Party or Trump because they know what that is. What it really comes down to is that for 80 media, and a lot of you black men, especially in this black mental space, the reason why 80 media, a lot of those, quote unquote, black men in the YouTube space tap dance for Trump and the GOP because a lot of it is you guys have grievances towards black women. Let's just keep it real. So when it comes to the whole 80 media, BJ's Edward, all those dudes, those tap dancing black dudes online, the only reason y'all go for Trump and the GOP and Republican Party is because your resentment and anger towards black women is so deep that you're willing to vote for white nationalism. I pray to God that I never get to a point where I have so much hatred for black women that I go and align with the white man. I go and align with white nationalism. I hope that never happens to me. But that's what it is when it comes to all these AB, Edward, all these black dudes online in the usual space tapping into Trump. And then when it comes to black people in general, both black men and black women, it's various reasons. Whether it's resentment from the Democratic Party, whether it's their belief that, they can get more conservative values from the GOP, even though that's not true. The GOP prioritizes whiteness over conservative values. It's a multitude of things when it comes to black people in general. But in the end, like we saw with Candace Owens, they're going to end up getting that reality check, which is that at the end of the day, Republican Party, all they really prioritize is whiteness, and you as a black person are not going to be allowed to exist in that space, let alone advocate for yourself or black people in that space. All you'll be allowed to do is carry water for white nationalism. You may have grievances with the Democratic Party, but you can at least exist in that space and at least advocate for black people. Now, could they undermine you? Could they give you less? Yes, but you can at least exist and advocate and get at least something in the Democratic Party. So at least in the Democratic Party, they allow you to exist in that space, they allow you to advocate in that space, and allow you to get something. It may not be what you want, but at least get something. In the Republican Party, you cannot exist in the space, you cannot advocate in the space, and if you're gonna be there, you're gonna be there to carry blatant white nationalism. So like I said before, what you have is two sides. Republicans, Democrats. Republicans are more blatant version of white supremacy. Democrats are a more nicer version that allows you to at least exist in their space. That's why black people align on the left, the majority of them. Not because they agree with gay marriage or LGBT or all that kind of stuff. They're there because literally the Democratic Party in recent years, right? Literally, the Democratic Party is the only party they have where it's the only place where black people can politically exist. If black folks could politically exist on the right and actually advocate on the right, I believe most black people right. Why? Because most black people are conservative by nature. Black people don't support gay marriage. They don't. Not like that. But on the left, because that's the only place. The Democratic Party is the only place where they can politically exist. Could that change in the future? Who knows? But I'm telling you why, in recent history and especially now, why black folks typically go to the Democratic Party, because that's literally, in reality, the only option you have. If you only have one party where you're allowed to politically exist, that's the only option you really have. So when people say, why do we vote Democrat? We vote Democrat because that's literally the only option we have. We don't have an option on the Republican Party. There is no political space for black people on the right. Even though we're conservatives, we can't exist on the right. That's the point. So please, stop all this buffoonery. Whether it's AB Media and all these black dudes tapping for Trump, or by the way, AB Media and all these black dudes tap this for Trump. You guys do that because you guys have so much resentment towards black women that you're willing to go out here and vote for white nationalism. That's what this is, right? But whether it's AB Media and all these black dudes tapping for Trump, or black people in general, black men and black women voted for Trump, Republican Party, understand this. You can go and that's all you want to, but you know your place. You know, as a black person, you have no space in that party. You cannot politically exist in the Republican Party. You have no space in the party. You cannot advocate for yourself in the party. All you can do on that side is fucking carry water for them. That's it. And when your usefulness runs out, you get thrown to the side. On the Democratic Party, there are problems. The Democratic Party, they may elevate people of color. That's right. All that stuff happens. But you can at least politically exist. You can at least advocate for yourself. And you can at least get something for black folks. I mean, not what you want, but something. So I'm tired of all this dumbass rhetoric of quote unquote Democratic plantation. If the Democratic Party, which allows you to politically exist, is a quote unquote plantation, then what is a GOP? Where they don't even give you space to exist. What is that then? The slave quarters? Hell? Come on, let's be honest here. So I want to make that very clear before I move on to my final point. That at the end of the day, whether it's AB Media and all these black dudes tapping for Trump, who, once again, y'all only voted for Trump because you guys hated black women, right? You hated black women so much you guys voted for Trump. But nevertheless, whether it's AB Media and all these other black dudes tapping for Trump, or black people in general tapping for Trump and the GOP, understand that the reason black people in general, the majority of black folks, are not on that side is because black people, including black folks who are Trump supporters, pro-GOP, black people in general cannot exist in the GOP. They cannot politically exist in the GOP. They cannot advocate in the GOP. They can only exist in the Democratic Party and advocate for themselves in the Democratic Party. So all you folks who are black folks, tap dancing for Trump, from AB to BGS to just black people in general, both black men and black women, all black folks who are tap dancing for Trump Republican Party, that's fine. Understand that in that space, you have no space to exist. You can advocate for yourself. You're only going to be there to carry water for the GOP. Which is why most black people are not going to follow you to that party where they cannot politically exist, they cannot advocate for themselves, and all they can do is carry water for the GOP. Most black people are going to be in the Democratic Party because they know they can politically exist, advocate for themselves, and at least get something out of it. So to finish this point off, black people vote Democrat not because of the Democratic plantation. They vote Democrat by the majority because black people understand that the Democratic Party is the only party in which we can politically exist in, we can politically advocate for ourselves in, and we can get something out of. It's not perfect, but it's the only choice we have. The Republican Party, the GOP Party, does not allow you to politically exist, does not allow black people to politically exist, does not allow black people to advocate themselves, and you damn sure do not get nothing. So that's why the majority of black folks align with the Democratic Party. So all these tap dancing coons, buffoons for Trump, I don't want to hear it. Go over there and be a political tool for the right. while we are over here on the Democratic Party actually trying to get some stuff through, actually being able to advocate for ourselves. And so I'll leave it at that. Okay? That's what it's going to be. Most black people are going to be on the Democratic Party being able to advocate for themselves, getting things done, getting something for themselves, at least getting something done. Right? So most black people are going to be in the Democratic Party where they can politically exist, where they can politically advocate for themselves and get something for themselves, at least something. And y'all Trump supporting black folks, y'all black folks who support Trump are going to be on the right where you cannot politically exist, you cannot politically advocate yourselves, and you're going to be there as just folks carrying water for the GOP. That's it. And so then this brings me then to the Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump debate. Once again, this is a great example. Kamala Harris was the only politician between the two that actually put out a black male agenda. It may not have been perfect, it may not have been everything, but it was actually something. An actual black male agenda. Trump didn't put out nothing for her black men specifically. And even if her black male agenda may have added some other folks, fine. But at least she targeted specifically. She at least mentioned you. Trump is not like, that's what I'm talking about. One side, Kamala Harris, was actually willing to even mention black men. The other side is not even willing to mention you, but you talking about you for Trump. So even the whole Trump Kamala Harris situation proved my point. Now some would say, well, you know, the black male agenda. Now, okay, fine. The black male agenda may not have been perfect. It may have had some problems, but there was at least something being offered to you. Don't tell me about all the problems that, quote unquote, the black male agenda have, but they ignore the fact that the other side is offering you fucking nothing. So you want me to ignore the fact that Trump and the GOP is offering you fucking nothing, but only complain about the side that's actually offering you something? What are we saying right now? Trump was at least willing to offer black men. Sorry. Kamala Harris was willing to at least offer you something. It may not be perfect, it may have problems, we get that. But at least something. But you're going to turn down the person that's offering you something and go to the person that's offering you nothing and say, nigga, get in the back of the line. What? Stop all that rhetoric. So, even the Kamala Harris versus Trump situation proved my point. That yes, we understand that both parties are pro-white supremacy, but Kamala Harris and Trump showed us, right? At least Kamala Harris, the Democratic Party, was at least willing to offer you something, was at least willing to even say black men, even engage black people. But the other side, you didn't even exist. So that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Now, a lot of black people stay at home for various reasons, that's fine. But the Kamala Harris versus Trump debate, this Trump situation, proves my point about the fundamental difference. One side is willing to at least offer you something. It may not be perfect, it may not be what you want, but at least something. One side is willing to at least even mention you, give you political space to exist. So Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party is at least willing to offer black people something, mention black people by name, right? At least create some space for black folks in the political arena. It may not be perfect, at least want to address you directly. The other side, Trump and the Republican Party, you don't even exist in their eyes. But you want to complain about Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party that's even fucking willing to talk to you. You want to complain about them, but Trump and the Republican Party, which doesn't even talk to you, you want to support? So when you got something as just blatant as Kamala Harris and Trump, where Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party were willing to at least offer black people something, talk to black folks, and Trump and the GOP, Trump Republican Party, was not even talking to black people at all, and yet folks will complain about Kamala Harris and Democrats actually offering you something, but will have no problem with Trump and the GOP offering you nothing, that's when you can't take them seriously. And that's also the reason why most black folks are gonna be on the left. Even if a lot of black people stay home because of issues they have with Kamala Harris, they still understand that Kamala Harris Democratic Party is gonna be way more better for them compared to Trump. The fact that Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party was willing to at least mention black people by name is already a lot. So even if black folks may have not come out for Kamala Harris, they still fundamentally support the Democratic Party because they know that the Democratic Party will at least mention them, will at least allow them to politically exist. So the Kamala Harris and the Donald Trump debate shows what I've been talking about. One party, the Kamala Harris and Donald Trump situation proves my point, which is that Democrats allow black people to politically exist. Democrats allow black people to advocate for themselves, and Democrats allow black people to at least get something. May not what they won't believe something. Republicans, black people cannot politically exist amongst Republicans. Black people cannot advocate for themselves amongst Republicans, and black people cannot get anything amongst Republicans. And Trump and Kamala Harris showed that. And even though in the end Kamala Harris lost, and a lot of black people didn't come out for her, black people still understand this fundamental difference, which is why most black folks either voted for Kamala Harris and stayed home. And next election, presidential election, if next presidential election, if Democrats put up a much more better candidate that black people like, most black folks will vote Democratic. But the vast majority of black people are never going to be on the right because they understand that what that is. They know they cannot exist on the right. Even though they're conservative, they cannot politically exist on the right. They cannot politically exist Republican Party. So Kamala Harris, Trump showed the difference, right? Kamala Harris, Democrats allow black people to politically exist, advocate for themselves, and get something. Trump, Republican Party, does not allow black people to exist, advocate for themselves, and black people get nothing at all. So Democrats, Kamala Harris, you can actually be a part of the party and get stuff done. Republicans, Trump, you cannot be a part of the party and you will get nothing from them. That's all it is. And so with that being said, I've finished my monologue. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat, folks who want to hop in and say some quick thing before I close off. So here is the link. Let me go back to what it was. Okay, media. Oh, Hammer, what do you think is the most visible option for black people, especially black, to not go to and political association? Look, I said before, all you can really do now is try the best you can to work within them kind of party. Because so that's the only point you can exist on and try to form coalitions. Even if those folks may have shown their ass this election by a lot of them voting for Donald Trump from Latinos, at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta find a way to, get back in the game, get back in the party, get back with main coalition, at least getting something. Right? Once again, the goal for black folks is not to get this magical, overwhelming transformation. You're underclass group. Your goal is to simply get something and to reduce harm. That's all you can really do in your position. Get something and reduce harm. That's all you can do. And okay, he just tap dancing here. There's a reason why FBS only have the ability to bother Democrats, but now that I'm here, there stops only because but see, that's what I'm talking about. Tariq Nasheed, all them folks had screaming about the Democratic Party. But now that Trump is in office, they're not asking for quote unquote reparations. They're not asking for that shit. Because they won't even allow you to bring that shit up. See, Democrats will allow you to even talk about that in their space. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't politically exist on that side, which is why when he got to power, your FBA adults didn't even try because they knew what it was. They knew that they wouldn't even be allowed to bring it up. So the mere fact that y'all were going hard on Democrats, doing the whole reparation of Democrats, and now Republicans in office, y'all ain't saying nothing, you yourself know that only one side allows you to fucking exist in their space. Come on. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep this link out, okay? So y'all who wanna AB, hold up, AB. If you're still here, I need you to hop on the link. I don't, because once again, you know, yes, people who are against Pan-African, yeah, those who oppose Pan-Africanism also for extinction, yeah, because you know, black folks around the world gotta come together, yes. But AB, look, AB, I need you to come up here, okay? Look, when I was on your panel, I let you talk over me and look great. So, and I get it, right? That's how you ambition them with. Look, I find it very funny how whenever I go to you guys get destroyed. I went and talked to Beers for 4 hours, destroyed him. Talk to you, destroyed him. And the crazy part is, despite me being muted and me being over talk, but in the end, I get vindicated. Once again, y'all essentially had to admit that Trump is not offering y'all nothing. That for a lot of y'all, it was just about getting a black woman. And even Bishop's argument about the whole, well, you know, it'll hurt the non-black folks more. I already debunked that at the beginning of the stream about how that's a false logic. But I was the only, I guess you could say, closest thing to a decent argument from you guys. But I find it very funny how I can go to your space and just tear your ass apart, even be able to just destroy y'all. But notice they won't come to this space though, because they know over here when they can just duck and hide and mute me, I'm ducking the show. So I already know what it is. Thank you. And then you guys fucking BGS talking about he's running from. Like, what do you mean running from you? You're the one who got me blocked, BGS. I literally have the BGS literally has a wrench on my channel. You can go anything once. How is the dude who got me blocked? Every time I come on the panel, the man gets destroyed and he runs. But I'm running from him. I'm here open and he won't even stop. Stop, BGS. And what's so sad is that when I'm debating you, your own people in your own comments say that I'm right. That's what's crazy about it. But it's funny how I can go to all y'all spaces, be muted, be blocked, and still destroy y'all. But none of y'all will ever come over here because you know what's gonna happen. But yet, all of you guys are not blocked here. Y'all guys are open. The house is open. Come on in. I don't feel y'all because I know if I could destroy you guys in your space with all the muting, with all the over talking, I know for a fact in this space where you can't mute me and you can't talk to me, it's a wrap, and you know that. So I guess he's not going to join. Of course he's not. But that's what makes it. And you know what's so sad about it? Bitch got some serious with black. Yeah, it's like, look, AB Media and them are retarded. I don't care, but that's what makes me sad about it. Is that BGS? He's not a dumb. He's a pretty smart guy, right? Because when it comes to geopolitics, he's fairly correct from that stuff. But it's like it almost feel like when it comes to BGS, like his anger towards black women is, oh, here we got it. How you doing, AB?
Mm-hmm. So, why do I hate black women again?
What I'm saying is that the only real reason that you, BGS and all them folks, support Trump, own party, is because y'all just are trying to get our black female. That's it.
Based on what facts?
There is no logical reason as to literally none.
Kamala Harris wasn't fit to be president, and that actually has nothing to do with her being a so-called black woman.
So Kamala Harris, who was a vice president and senator, is not fit to be president, but Trump is?
Yeah, she was also one of the most unfair.
No.
Least productive.
Let's address that. Kamala Harris, who was a senator and vice president, career-long politician,
who slept her way to the top, but go ahead.
Fine, but she was in office. She's not fit to be president, but Trump is?
Yes, he was president before.
But when Trump ran for office, did he have any political experience?
No, not when he first ran, and it's not his fault that he won, you know.
And even after him getting to office, his entire first term was chaotic.
And
well,
actually, no,
it was chaotic.
The last few months was chaotic because of COVID.
No. The first few months were chaotic. The tariff situation with China backfired.
No, it didn't.
All the policies. Yes, he did. Trump had to bail out the U.S. farmers. Remember that?
Hold on, wait a minute. If the tariffs failed, why did Joe Biden keep them?
Joe Biden, no. The tariffs when it came to the trade war they had with China, that he lost that battle.
Oh, okay.
A lot of tariffs, yes, to even bail out the white farmers. Some of the tariffs when it came to China that Biden kept on, a lot of that came later on in the administration because Trump was getting angry at China because of COVID, because he felt like Xi Jinping didn't tell him the truth about COVID. But the entire administration, it was chaotic, which is why he got kicked out the first time.
Okay.
He just came back into office, and the economy is already collapsing.
Is it?
When you got Donald Trump saying that there could be a potential recession out of his own mouth.
Yeah. I heard that, yeah.
So a recession is not the economy collapsing, AB?
Well, we were practically in a recession before Trump got in office, but Biden just kept it under wraps.
Stop all that. We were not. Which is why he had to say that we could be, because he knows we're currently not.
Oh. So grocery prices weren't through the roof?
Grocery, he literally said
after the election is almost $500,000.
All of the, you know what's so crazy about it? He literally said after he won the election that he doesn't worry about those things.
That was when Biden was in office. So,
if you want to, let me ask you a question. What was the price of, what were things more expensive when Trump left compared to when Biden was in office?
No, they were cheaper.
When Trump left office, he left us with COVID and it destroyed the economy. It was worse.
No, groceries were still much cheaper than they are now.
So grocery now because now Trump is destroying the economy, but groceries were way more expensive around the end of Trump's term with COVID if compared to when Biden came in.
No, they were not. Which tells me you haven't done any grocery shopping around that time.
So you're saying that groceries were more expensive after we ended the lockdowns under Biden compared to when we were in the COVID lockdown in Trump?
Yeah, by the time of Biden's term, groceries were way more expensive than they were at the end of Trump's term. Way more.
Yeah, that's insane. That's the complete lie. Almost all economists would agree that when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, that was destroying the economy. That's the reason they had to bring out the stimulus checks. The price was to the roofs. It was way too. All of that stuff got stabilized when we finally ended the lockdowns and everything got back under control.
No, it didn't.
Compared to when it was a COVID, yes, it got better. Which is a complete lie. The complete lie. Like, that's a complete lie. For you to even say that groceries were more expensive after the lockdown was done, everything got stabilized, compared to we were literally in the pandemic?
No, it's called the Ukraine War. That had a ripple effect. The whole world economy is connected.
The Ukraine War happened when? Later on during his administration, right?
Yes, around 2022.
So even before he came in 2020. So even before that, the grocery prices was still lower compared to when it was a COVID. And even after the Ukraine War, based on the economists have said, it was still never really got to the level we saw during COVID. Because COVID was a complete shutdown of the entire economy, AB. You cannot compare that. Was there an increase in prices with the Ukraine War? Yes, but it never got to where it was when it comes to
it got worse than it was during COVID, actually.
It was not worse than it was.
Which shows me you didn't pay for any groceries during the COVID time.
Or are you saying this based on individual experience or what what economists are saying?
Not only my individual experience, but other people's experience. Everybody was saying.
And are you saying this based on what hearsay or what the economists are saying?
What economists are you listening to?
These are economists across the political spectrum.
Economists lie.
Economists lie. So even the economists who on the right wing, right, lie too. The economists who are pro-Trump lie too. When even they are coming out and saying that what Trump is doing right now is hurting the economy and could put us in recession. The pro-Trump economists are saying this.
We'll
so they're wrong, right?
He's only been in for a month. We'll have to see.
So he just came in for a couple of, I guess you could say, a couple of weeks.
But I wasn't trying to accuse him of causing a recession 2 or 3 months in.
Yeah, because that didn't happen under Biden like that. What Trump is doing right, if Trump goes on with this trade war and tariff, it may even be worse than COVID. Because all these nations are retaliating towards us.
And bending the knee right afterwards.
They're not bending the knee. They're retaliating back. What's going to hurt the U.S. economy. And it's actually going to, in many ways, push the world more and more towards the Chinese, if anything.
Newsflash, that already happened, son.
Okay, but Beijing was telling me that Trump was not going to accelerate. Now he's accelerating it. So he's accelerating the decline. But I find it very funny how a president with no political experience comes into office, no problem with that, but a woman like Kamala Harris, who was vice president and senator, she's not qualified. I find it very interesting how a guy who literally... Once again, are we going off just interviews or just actual qualifications? Are we going off hearsay interviews or actual qualifications?
Look, I watched her interviews to see if she was qualified, and she proved time and time again she couldn't handle the job.
So her interviews say, you're saying that her interviews say she's not qualified, but Trump's interviews makes him qualified?
You can barely answer a question properly.
But Trump's interviews makes him qualified?
Yes. in fact, he's actually got...
Really, AB?
Yes.
Compared to Trump's interviews?
Yes. Especially he did pretty well during that Black Conference interview, whatever it was.
That Black Conference was a disaster for Trump.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. He got destroyed. They brought the facts to his face.
Okay, who was the 47th president now again? Right. Oh, right.
Once again, that does not make him more qualified. If anything, him being elected proves that qualifications really matter. Because if a white dude can come in behaving like Trump, doing everything Trump does, and still be able to win, because even you have to admit, Obama.
Harris is a candidate.
No. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Obama could have done what Trump did and get into office?
Nope.
And yet Trump could do, right?
Yeah.
And who's more qualified, Obama and Trump? Or Trump?
Yeah, probably both now.
Obama was way more qualified. You know that. But yet, only one, but the white dude who's less qualified, less experience, less everything, is able to act a fool and still get into office. But the black guy could never do that. And that's cool with you, right?
Whose fault is that, though? We didn't tell y'all to run a dementia patient against him. We didn't tell y'all to run an incompetent AKA against him.
You're not answering the question. The point I'm making here is that a mere fact that Obama could not get away with what Trump is doing proves the point. It was never about qualifications.
You know what country you're living in? This has always been a racist country. What's the big deal?
So it's always been a racist country, but you're going to vote to reinforce the racial hierarchy, right? That's what you did.
Son,
you're going to vote for white nationalism, right?
Son, okay. 10 of your first 12 presidents were slave owners. Trump's actually an improvement. And I could go even deeper.
Trump was the response to Barack Obama's election. You know that, right?
Son, you haven't read enough history.
Trump was actually a response to Obama.
And
because if we had the narrative, well, that's how it is. Then why we just stay slaves? That's how it is, right? White fellas still right. That's how it is, right? Why complain about lynch? That's how it is, right? You don't get to this point by just saying that's how it is. And you don't get to put for white nationalism and then say, well, that's how it is. That's not how that works, AB. But I am happy that you're finally admitting that you openly voted for white nationalists. I'm happy you admitted that. That's good. That's progress.
Yeah, I voted for Trump. What's the big deal?
So you voted for white nationalists. So my question becomes this: what are you going to get?
Wait, Hammer, wait. I am not going to let you get it with that. You're talking about me voting for Trump, but you voted for
white nationalists.
Hold on, wait a minute. You voted for a racist prick that was trained by Strong Thurman, but you're talking to me about voting for Trump? Really?
Like I've already addressed this. Yes, I understand the Democratic Party has one too, but there are more nicer version of it. I can exist.
You voted for Joe Biden, but you come.
Yes, because Joe Biden and Democratic Party are willing to at least give political space.
Who passed the 1994 crime
because Joe Biden and Democratic Party are willing to at least address black people and give political space for them.
So
we can't exist on the right.
So
you know this.
So wait a minute. So you agree with Joe Biden? If you don't vote for him, you ain't black.
That's just obviously I don't agree with that statement. But the point is that you understand the reason why most, by the way, black folks support Democrats and even Joe Biden is because we understand that even with all the problems on the left, we can exist on the left. We can at least get things done on the left. We can't exist on the right.
You mean kiss ass on the left, don't you?
We cannot get anything on the right. You know this. You can't politically on the right.
So Trump didn't sign the First Step Act that released brothers out of prison.
Now you know damn well the first step that was targeted more towards white men. Well, why are you even saying this? You know that,
right? How? The
First Step Act, the way it was pushed, was really mainly targeted for white dudes. Because black people benefit, who knows, potentially. But it was really pushed from a point of view of benefiting white men who had prison issues or with prison system. You know this. It was never about helping the Negroes. Really? But I do find it. Is that what you believe it was about?
Well, it's about helping all prisoners, but who are the majority of prisoners, Cameron? Who makes up 25% of prisoners, and who are the majority of prisoners in U.S. prisons, Hammer?
Once again, I don't have the data in front of me. I can really tell you what the exact
black men are the majority of prisoners, Hammer, so it helped the majority of black men.
Once again, that law, the First Step Act, was mainly pushed for white men, and to be honest with you, I would not be surprised that upon further investigation, that the beneficiaries are probably mostly white folks. I would not be surprised that was the case. But once again, folks can do that research.
But okay.
I would not be surprised if that ends up being the case. But my thing is, you have not yet addressed the fact that you black folks cannot exist on the right. You know this.
Based on what facts? Byron Donalds doesn't exist. Tim Scott doesn't exist.
Byron Donalds carries water for the white Republicans.
And you say that is.
Have you ever seen Byron Donalds advocating or pushing those black people? Have you seen that?
Not in the open.
Not in the open. Why do you think on the left we can have people?
You say that if Jasmine Crockett speaks for black people, she speaks for immigrants.
She may do that, but she also speaks for black people too. Why do you think on the left we can have Obama, who was president? We can have two black women coming as beasts. We can have black folks in high position speaking about black issues. But you can't have black people on the right even talking black at all.
Really? Byron Donalds doesn't sound black? Come on, man.
He cannot speak for black people. You know this. He cannot. Okay. He's not allowed to. The moment he says black, he's out of there. You know this?
You know what country you live in?
Yes, we know. I know what country I live in. Which is why I realized the question. Do you know what country you live in?
Yeah, I do. It's a country that had slavery was 60% of its GDP up to the Civil War. 60 to 70% of its GDP.
It had a dark past. But black people had to navigate through our history, which was most black folks on the left today, because you understand that's the most practical path.
Wrong. Most black people were actually on the Republican side up to the 60s.
I said today. And even then, okay, fine. If you want to talk about, okay, fine. The reason why black people specifically, you could really say, before the greats flip, were on the Republican, because Republican Party, they were the progressive party at that time. You know this. The white Dixiecrats went to the GOP. They flipped.
Not all of them.
Most of them.
Not all of them.
Most of them.
Strong Thurmond still trained Joe Biden.
Yes. But most of those people are not on the left, and you know that. Do you?
Sure?
Let me ask you a question. Do you see Confederate flags on the left? Do you?
What does that have to do with anything?
Because the people who are Dixiecrats typically align with, that's a lot of the symbols. Do you see it on the left? They're not on the left like that. They're not. And you know that.
How would you know?
Okay. Now you're just being disingenuous. I can't even.
No, I'm not.
Like,
no, I'm not.
You think for you to say,
you think Rachel Maddow gives a fuck about you?
For you, AB, for you to say that you don't know that the majority of Dixiecrats or white Southerners are not on the left, but are now on the right. You can see it on the political map. If you don't know that basic fact, I'm like, I can't have this conversation. How am I gonna have a political conversation with a black dude who's telling me, "Oh, I don't know that most white Southerners are on the right"?
Yeah, there are a lot of racists on the right. I never said there
most white Southerners are on the right. The vast majority.
Are you sure the most racists are on the right?
Okay, that's gonna be it, y'all. It is what it is. We'll go ahead and leave it there. All right, AB. Thank you very much. I'm gonna close it there. But look, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you're a black man in America and you don't know that most white Southerners are on the right, I can't have a like. How am I gonna talk about math with a guy telling me that 2 + 2 is 5? There's no room there anymore. Yes, is it true that at one point black people went more to the Republican Party? Yes, but that's because the Republican Party was viewed as the more progressive party at the time until the parties flipped. And really the flip happened after the Civil Rights bill came through. Then what you saw is after civil rights, more and more white folks, specifically white Southerners, moved towards the Republican Party. And then the flip happened. If you don't know that basic fact, that the Dixiecrats, the white Southerners who are part of the Democratic Party in the past, are now the white Southerners who are now part of the Republican Party, there's nothing I can talk to you about. Like, how do I have a conversation with a black dude who doesn't know that basic fact? You don't know about the party switch. You don't know that the Dixiecrats are now mostly white Southerners on the right. How do you debate a black dude, talk to a black guy about math if he doesn't know what 2 + 2 is for? So that was different for me, AB. I'm like, when you told me that you did not know the majority of white Dixiecrats, white Southerners are on the right, and that most of the Confederate stuff's on the right, see, at that point, I can't have an honest conversation with you. So it is what I just can't. Like, I'm really open. I don't want a panel, but when somebody just is just that ignorant, like, how can I have the conversation? If you don't even know that the majority of white Southerners are both on the right, how do I have a conversation with that? If you don't know the majority of white Southerners on the right, there's nothing else to say. There's nothing else I can say. Nothing else I can say. It is what it is. But yeah, but hold up, guys. I hope that you guys learn from this, right? AB media is what I'm talking about. This is the mentality of the average black Trump supporter. Ignorant, retarded, does not know what's going on, right? And essentially ashamed of the black race. That's all it is. And I'm gonna keep it with you. There are much more smarter black folks at least who are on the right. I'll give you that. But you are a Trump supporter, a Republican, and you don't even know that most white conservatives, white Southerners on the right. I'm like, dude, I can't even have that conversation. But with that being said, they care more about groceries than the white people to go. Yeah, it's dumb, and also that's not even true. I'm like, for you to say that the grocery prices were higher when the lockdowns were ended and we went back to normal compared to when we had a full blown COVID lockdown is insane to me. Obviously, the grocery everything was more expensive when the economy was locked down to Trump, which is why you had so much stimulus of just going on because there was so much economic pressure. When Biden got everything reopened, everything got stabilized. And even with the Ukraine war and things getting more expensive, it still never got to levels of when the COVID economy shut everything down. So yeah, it just it's dumb. It's dumb. Okay, it's dumb. And on top of the fact that the whole grocery prices thing is just wrong, you're also voting for a party that is hostile towards you as a black person. I'm like, come on. He's being obtuse on purpose. He just doesn't care. And that hurts black women. It's fine. Thank you, Aku. That's all it is. Right? When it comes to him and black guys like him, there's no logic and facts. They're simply doing this because they want to get at black females. Okay? They're simply doing this because they had to get at black females. That's all this is. And then when it comes to black people in general, black men and black women who for Trump and the Republican Party, it's the same level of ignorance. It's, oh, well, the grocery prices is conservative, all that dumb shit. So he is spouting the same dumb rhetoric that you would see an average black Trump supporter, black Republican spew out, but he's just adding the quote unquote hatred for black women on top of that. So the average black Trump supporter, black Republican, will just say, grocery prices, the Democratic Party is a party of slavery. Oh, they will say all that dumb rhetoric. He takes all of that, but just adds his hatred of black women. That's all he does. That's it. Well, we got Leon. They had to stop price gouging. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Black women, yeah. But when it comes to this, yeah, once again, I've talked about it. Everything got stabilized when Biden essentially took us off lockdown and the economy got back on the track. The economy was way worse with the lockdowns and the economy being completely shut down. So anyone even trying to argue that somehow the economy was worse when Biden reopened the economy compared to when Trump had us on lockdown is retarded. I won't even entertain that rhetoric. Okay. So it's obvious that the economy was way better. It's obvious that the economy was way better when Biden reopened the economy after COVID compared to when we were under lockdown with Trump, right? So the point is, when it comes to the average, we got someone here. Okay, go on, Leon. I don't have that much. I gotta go, but say your piece quickly.
Hammer, what you're saying, I get what you're trying to say, but when you shut down the economy and the world economy, that means you don't have an active economy. Then when you reopen it, our economy did not do any better. We went to a wartime economy. We engaged in 2 wars that we spent 500 billion on one so far, and then the small hat war. Who knows the number that we spent on?
Once again,
Wait, hold on. So when it comes to produce, the prices have increased. And that I'm not one of the guys that look at stuff from March to this month. It went down 3%. All across the board, it's up 25%, my bad, since before COVID. Um, we don't even know the cost of the immigrants and how that inflated our prices, plus the war. So this short time type of framework that you're working in really doesn't work like that, my bruh. I'm just being real with you. Like
Once again,
you can't alternate between economies, shutting down economies and make these arguments. This is just some CNN, Fox News type of
once
framework
again,
that you're
okay,
using. You know what I'm saying?
you're
And
you're saying a,
I'm not insulting you. I'm just saying you went
you
from
are
an
saying a
open
bunch of
economy.
you okay.
You went from an
You
open economy that was putting money into corporations before COVID to a shutdown economy to Joe Biden doing a wartime economy, then an immigrant grant economy that's cost more. They said the cost is pretty much $500 million too. I mean, a half a trillion, 500 billion. And I'm saying like I get the arguments, but the fact is, like we already knew that this was gonna happen, and it's no confusion. Like you
okay?
can find, wait, just let me say, you can find Democrats saying the same thing. It's just look at it like I look at it. Democrats don't want to be viewed as the black bad people, so they rather have a guy like Trump or a Republican take the actions that they're not willing to take. Like we can't sit down and act like they're not in agreement of this. If you want me to pull some clips from Bernie Sanders to Pelosi to Bill Clinton to Barack Obama saying the same thing, it's just they just didn't have the nuts to do it, man. That's it. They're in
Okay.
agreement of it. It's just how you want to do it. You know what
I'm
I'm
like
saying?
you.
But
You just started a bunch
I
of.
get what you're saying.
I'm like you just went like to a bunch of like various different. I don't even know where to start.
So
Let me just start
so
with. Uh,
I went to the economy, what you talked about, and I broke that down.
yeah.
And
Once
I
again,
talked about the things that are happening that historically, when they say, cut the government, Democrats have been guilty of. Both parties are in a line, man. It's not that confusion. There's gaslighting
okay.
Americans.
Going back to this over the
Pretty
economy.
much.
Let's do that first, right? Because I don't have to start. I'll do it
Oh,
quickly. When it comes to the
okay.
economy, shutting down the economy.
Wait, Hammer, I got a question. How old were
Wow,
you 2019?
bro, are you just gonna? Are you gonna be responsible? I've
I'm just
literally.
asking. I'm just asking. How old were you 2019?
I don't know. But what? How old was I? I think be 18 years old. I don't remember right
Hammer,
now.
you know how old you were 2019. You
I
were
believe I was.
17 to 18 years old.
Yeah, 17, that's not that period. But look, are you gonna let me
Okay,
respond?
okay. Yeah,
But
that's
the
all I
point is
was
that.
asking.
But the point is that dude, okay, shutting down the the lockdown is still hurting the economy. I mean, you can phrase it however you want to phrase it. That is still hurting the economy. And Joe and the
Yeah,
reason why Trump, yes, you're still hurting the
yeah,
economy by doing that.
yeah,
So the reason why Trump was so kind of turned up the pressure on Beijing during that time because when the COVID thing broke out in China, Wuhan, everything, right? He called Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping assured him that it wasn't a big deal. And then when it broke out and it came to America, he was mad because he felt he was lied to, which he was. You told
okay.
Xi Jinping assured him that hey, it's not a problem. Happened anyway. That's what he turned up on China at that time period. But the point is,
Hammer, I got a
shutting down the
question.
economy is still hurting the economy.
How many viruses and which one did they were hoping that we didn't get? Because there was 3 to 4 different ones, and we didn't know which one, right?
Once again, I can't even spell. I don't even know how many came out of it. Right? That's I have to go and look into that.
So thank you. So when you admit that you didn't know which one it was, maybe you should sit down and do some research. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Wait,
Oh,
Hammer. This is from a science perspective. They knew that a
this
virus
is
got out.
completely way off the
They
point.
didn't.
This is not
Well, no,
addressing the point I'm making.
I'm just trying to help you.
Oh no.
You did.
You're
Look,
driving way. Okay,
I'm
go
in the
go make a
middle.
point.
I'm in the middle of
Yeah,
both
it
sides,
doesn't change my argument is so clear. But go ahead,
but
make the
I
point.
get what you're
Drive
saying,
off. It's all right.
Hammer. I get what you're saying. But from a science perspective, if you don't know which virus got out, and then bodies start dropping, and China starts lying about how many people die, yeah, you're gonna shut down an economy, stop trade, keep people distanced.
He
Do I
shut
think
down
that was
the
the right thing to do? Totally, no.
he shut
But that's
down
a
the economy
decision.
when COVID
That's
got here in America. But here's the thing: the point I'm saying here is that once again,
yeah.
this entire like diversion you just did, like none of that shit is my point. I want to be very clear
Okay.
because you got a lot. So you did that whole entire. That's great. My point still stands.
Okay.
So going to my whole point,
What
shutting
is the
down the
point?
economy is still hurting the economy.
We know that. You don't
And on
have an
top of
economy if you shut it down.
yeah. So my point I was trying to make to AB Media is that once again, the when Biden comes to office and opens the economy back up, we still have a much more better economy once open up compared to when Trump left with a
No,
COVID
we
lockdown.
didn't. No, that's bull.
Yes, we did.
No, we did not, bro.
Yes, we did.
So we open up an economy that uh
I mean, is this your opinion on this economy?
consumes.
Literally, damn near
Bro,
unanimous economists agree the economy was
the,
when we opened
no,
was then better
that
compared to during
is
the lockdown.
bull. Okay, so okay,
So,
this
so
is about
okay, we'll listen to
hammer,
you
hammer,
over the
hammer,
economists. Okay, go ahead.
hammer.
Say it. The economists are wrong.
Yeah,
You're
you're
right. Say
listening
it.
to some dumb CNN, Fox News. When you
I'm
look
now.
at
That's
what it was, okay,
even the
you
pro-conservative ones. But go ahead.
you asked hammer. When you look at what we opened up to, we went from 0 to 100% wartime economy. So the majority of the wealth was stripped from the middle and working class. Okay, people went from prior COVID to open economy to the second year, having less money than they did in Joe Biden's economy. Like he was stripping. Like, okay, it's great. It's great. My house is worth way more money than it was before COVID, right? But it's not like I can sell it. It means nothing. So you look at a car from prior COVID that was 35,000. Now that's 48,000, for example. Your economy isn't good. They can project the numbers out how they want to. They can sit down and understand that the only place to make it look like the economy
So
is
once
looking good
again,
is the
so
stock market, my guy. The
what
economy, like, hey, check it out. The American economy hasn't been good since 2008.
yes, we
It's
understand
all
that.
fake money, my guy.
First of
It's
all,
fake money.
Biden saved the economy after let's keep real. The best economy
Biden did
out of
not
the crisis.
save
I
anything.
said Obama saved the economy after saved from the
He did
financial
not
crisis.
save the economy. He saved business owners, corporations, the bank.
Would you have
That's not
wanted
the
collapse?
economy.
Is that what you wanted? That said the best he
Is
could,
that what I said?
considering the fact that yeah, if you have a choice between a financial collapse and keep pitching things together, yeah, I think they're a pretty good job. So it's not perfect, but it's better than a collapse. But the point I'm making
Are you
here is
just
that
trying to make something make sense when you're wrong?
no, I'm saying that you had a choice. So yeah, was it not the best? The way he did the best he could. So if you had a choice between okay keeping things at least together compared to a collapse, yeah, I think they did a pretty good job.
That's not what I'm
So
saying. I'm saying that it hasn't been a good economy since 2008. You don't
it hasn't
produce
been the
anything.
best economy 2008,
No,
but
no, 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 no. You don't produce anything. We are consumption. It's literally 80%
bro,
consumption.
once again, now
The
you're
other
going okay, fine.
is
If you're gonna
inflation of
go
dollars, my
2008,
guy.
fine. What would you prefer? The collapse of the financial system or just what we have
Yeah.
now or what they had?
So
And
Hammer,
that's
did I
really what
say
it is.
anything about
So
preferring
you had the
fall
financial
and
crisis.
collapse? You're
It was
trying to make an
either
argument that I'm not saying. Try to make sense. Look, I was in my 20s. Okay, you were a baby. When I say it's been downhill ever since, it has been downhill. When you're talking about a stable economy, you're talking about something going for 10 years, maybe 20 years. Look, you went from a stagnant economy to drilling for more oil, blah, 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 inflating money, not understanding the cost of what we were doing. You're involved in multiple wars, and you say you have a good economy, but from the last 15 years, we spent over $20 trillion all over the place. That's not a good economy. That's you're spending. and your
Yeah,
inflation
everything
drives
you're
you up, man.
saying, I don't even.
So so
Once again,
so again,
you
when
always. I
you
don't know why
shut
you're driving
down,
off the rails. You're all
when
over the
you
place now.
shut when no, I'm not. When you shut down an economy
Literally,
that's not really there, then you open up an economy, but it turns into a wartime economy that costs people. That's not a good economy. That's
once
just good
again,
for
you went
people
all the way
that
around
make
it,
money
the
out of that,
circle
my
to
guy.
the finance 2008. Fine. Now
It's
that you're
not
done
good.
with your entire
Yeah.
circling, going back to the main point. I only that's what you, that's I'll let you go and just
Hammer,
swerve
you
everywhere.
don't sound
But
like I'm not swerving. You're the one that
but
brought up, well, a falling economy or putting money back in it. And I never said none of that.
yes, my point has not changed. My point's the same.
What is
You're
your
the one
point?
who goes all over the place, and you
I'm not
that's great.
going
You can
all
do
over the
that.
place. I'm telling
You can
you
say it
that
all you want to.
you're comparing
What I'm
five
saying is
things to
that
come to a
when you
conclusion
look,
that's
and
not
by the
there.
way, understand everything I'm saying is backed by actual economists. I want to make that
Which
very clear,
ones, my guy? You're watching
dude. The general
Fox
PhDs,
News, CNN.
folks who are. I'm gonna tell you something, Ryan Leon. I will
What's
always
up, bro?
listen to PhDs and those who are studied in economics than you. So if you're asking me to listen to you over the
I'm not. I
PhDs
know.
who the work, that's never gonna happen. So I want to make that
I
very
fully
clear.
agree with you,
So
but I'm
if the
saying you're
economists who are
saying that it's a
educated, who got
better economy.
PhDs,
It's not a
are
better
saying
economy.
something, and the data shows
You,
that, I'm gonna
okay,
side with what you're saying.
what is the PhD saying something, and what does the date start from, and where does the date end? Because you do this March to this date, 3%. See, the economy was
Bruh.
better. That's not a
You
good.
know
That's not
that
good. It
the
doesn't even
general
show that way.
consensus of economists, is that when the COVID-19 happened, the economy got wrecked. And when Biden came in there and reopened everything, he got the economy and it grew better. It did better.
What
That's the
are you
general
talking?
consensus.
Man, okay, so what you're comparing is the stock market prices
I'm not.
continuing to inflate to
Yo, did
determine
you hear what I just
what
said?
are you basing it
Did
off
you?
of?
Okay, Leon, look.
What
Now you're getting
economic
me angry. What
no,
did
I'm
I
not
just
giving
say?
you a
No,
headache.
no, 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 no,
Wh-
no. What did
No,
I
what are
specifically
you
say? Did I
comparing to
ever
say
say the
that
stock
this
market?
economy is doing good? My God, what are you comparing? What are you
Did
comparing?
I ever say the stock market?
I just
I'll
asked
say,
you,
okay.
I
I'll
just,
say this for the last time. I'm not
hammer.
repeating
I
myself.
just asked you, what are you
Stop.
comparing to show that
Okay.
this economy was doing?
I'll say this for the last time. I'm getting this because AB me with his dumb ass, and you're doing the same thing too. I'm gonna say this for the last time. What the PhDs, what the economists, what the educated folks have all the consensus is that when the lockdowns happen, the overall economy, all the sectors, not just the stock market, the overall sectors were hit. It was a shutdown. It was destroyed. And it's only after Biden came in and was able to not only reopen but get everything back on track, the economy stabilized and grew again. That is the overall consensus.
Hammer, our economy didn't grow. Where do you get this? Our economy grew from?
Compared to when the
This is
lockdowns
crazy.
happened, yes, it did way better compared to when the lockdowns. It
Again,
grew.
okay, again, if you're going to compare such a short period of time and say if you lock down, everybody gets that if you lock down the economy, it's not going to grow. But our economy didn't grow. We turned to a wartime economy. It didn't
Once again,
benefit. When you speak about economy
okay.
that doesn't benefit the society, what does that really mean to you, my guy? That hasn't
Okay.
benefited no American to talk about. We have an economy that's growing.
Okay.
Where does it show?
I'm asking a question,
Hammer,
right?
no, make
What
sense what I'm asking.
is
Where
what
does it show? Hammer, answer my question. This imaginary growing economy, where did it show with the American people that it actually benefited anybody? Please explain that to
bruh? When
me.
you look at
Because
the
you don't
data,
know.
when you look at it,
I'm
that's what
not
I'm
talking
saying.
about data.
I'm not. That's
I'm
what I'm
asking
saying. That
you a
I
question.
listen to the
Hammer,
economists and the
hammer.
PhDs.
So the economists that you
This
listen
is
to then explain how this growing economy benefited American citizens. That's what you're saying.
it did, bruh. Come on, we know this, man. It was way better for the average person when everything reopened compared to when we were under lockdown. Does that mean that it was perfect?
That's
No. Does
bullshit.
that mean Okay, and
That's how
that's
you
fine.
know
Okay. You're saying it's bullshit. The
it
economists are
is
saying it's not,
bullshit.
and I will take the word of the economists compared
Okay,
to
so
you.
do me the favor of this to help you study. Go look at the percentage of people that they don't count before you say something is better, because they're not counting 20%.
Okay,
Guys.
okay. Let me go ahead and finish my
They're
show.
putting out they're
Let me
putting
ask you
out
one.
numbers for anything that's above working.
Okay, I'm at the end of the day. Look, I'm asking this last question because once again, I'm never gonna take your word over the actual economy, so that's just not even gonna happen. Once again, I'm asking one last question. When Donald Trump comes on and says that he has no problem with a recession coming in, if that in fact does come through, are you gonna say the recession is better than the Biden economy?
The recession was coming. Are you like that? Are you an idiot, or do you not see $55 trillion
The
that people
recession
owe? The
that he's saying is
recession has
coming,
been
that
coming.
he
We,
himself is saying is
we
due to
already
the
knew it was
tariff
coming.
policy that he's putting in place. He himself is
It
saying
has
this.
nothing to do with the tariffs.
So
It has
even though
nothing to
he's
do.
saying my tariffs could bring a recession, has nothing to do with that, right? So we shouldn't listen to what he's actually saying from his mouth. We should listen to
Bro,
Leon,
yeah,
right?
yeah, nah,
Fuck
yeah.
the
You should stop
economists.
listening to them.
Fuck what Trump
Okay,
is saying out of his
okay,
mouth. Fuck
yeah,
everybody. Leon
yeah,
is
yeah. That's exactly, and
okay.
it's not from Leon. It's not from only.
I'm done. And I am actually angry and I'm tired. So I'm going to make this very clear. I am never, under any fucking circumstances, going to see PhDs, economists across the political spectrum who are actually studying the field lay down the fucking facts. And I'm going to take the word of a random dude on YouTube. That's not what's going to fucking happen. If the PhDs and the educated are saying this is what it is, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm tired of this rhetoric. And I'm disappointed, UAB. I'm Leon. Once again, you had the financial crisis in 2008. Obama said from that. It was not the best, but he said from that. And that was a good thing because, once again, compared to a collapse, he was able to get us back on track the best he could. Trump comes in there, destroys the recovery with the whole tariff, trade war, that kind of stuff. After he's able to kind of stabilize things. And then the COVID comes, destroys everything. Then Biden comes in, reopens it, gets things back on track. Yes, you have the Ukraine war. That kind of makes it more difficult, but still, they come back on track. Trump comes back in, does the tariff stuff, has the economy going crazy. All the nations are literally doing tariffs back. The guy is literally saying out of his own mouth that my tariff policy could cause a fucking recession. But no, fuck what Trump is actually saying. Fuck what Trump is saying. Fuck what the PG are saying. Fuck what the economists are saying. Listen to me, a random guy on fucking YouTube. When the president himself is saying, yeah, my economic policies could cause a recession, y'all should be cool with that. Like, come on. Oh, and I know, and when the recession gets caused due to the tariff, I know, right? It's not going to be Trump's fault, right? It's going to be Obama's fault. Obama is going to be the reason why Trump's tariffs could lead to a recession, right? I know that. Oh, and even if we do end up in a recession, the economy under a Trump recession is still going to be quote unquote better than Biden's, right? Like, fuck out of here. I'm done. I'm done. This level of low IQ-ness, I'm done. Move it. Here's what I'm doing. Move forward. I'm also just interacting. And it's like, when you spend so much time with the educated, it's only when you interact with the uneducated that you realize, like, damn, there is actual benefit to being around educated people. Why do you think that even the most pro-Trump economists, the economists that are the most pro-Trump, are coming out and saying, yo, this tariff shit could cause a recession? Why? Because even if they have even if they align with Trump politically, due to the fact that they have the PhDs, they have the knowledge, they can still accurately gauge the policy. So I'm I'm not, no, Leon, don't come back. No, I'm not doing all that. I am never going to listen to you over the PhD. So don't even start. He said Trump is not causing, you don't put anything, you have to do tariffs. Once again, when it comes to you don't put anything, America deindustrializing, or I guess industries going overseas, that happened throughout multiple administrations. $40 trillion happened throughout multiple administrations. But when it comes to the president is literally saying my policies would cause a recession. The economists are saying his tariffs would cause a recession. Even the pro-Trump people are saying his policies would cause a recession. But you're saying, fuck all of them, fuck the facts, fuck the president, fuck everybody, listen to me as a random guy on YouTube. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to listen to you over what's coming out of the actual president's mouth. I'm not going to listen to you over actual economists. And by the way, Leon, this is how much, I'm going to give you an example of how much it matters to be educated. When you have even the most pro-Trump, pro-MAGA economists coming out, if you have the most pro-Trump, pro-MAGA economists coming out and saying that, hey, we support Trump and everything, but this was going to hurt and Fox News literally showed this white guy on TV talking about how the tariffs were hurting his business. The reason why the pro-Trump, pro-MAGA economists can still say that Trump's policy will hurt the United States and potentially to receive, because once again, even though they're pro-Trump, because they are educated, they have the PhD, they're still able to look at the policies, from a factual point of view. Even if they're pro-Trump. Trump's policies is not going to, quote-unquote, make America, once again become the biggest industrial power in the world. No. Trump's policies is not going to reverse America's decline. Trump's policy is not going to stop the fact that China is going to be the next major power. That's not going to happen. If anything, it's going to start with decline. Other countries are going to put tariff, are going to, tariff America back, making our economy worse, potentially leading to recession, and it will only drive the world towards China even further. Stop. So John can put on sleeve for 20K and America some for 20K. Tell me you wouldn't put on Chinese to America. So once again, if you want to tariff a specific, that's one thing. But notice, even the mere fact that they have to tariff this proves that America is not even able to produce for the Chinese like that. That you can't make cars that can match Chinese. So even you putting tariffs is you running from the competition. If the United States had a better manufacturing, better economy than China, they will be able to produce cars even cheaper than that. You putting tariffs to block those cheaper vehicles is simply because you can't compete with them. You are simply putting a band-aid over your economic decline. Because they'll go everybody everywhere else. They'll be able to sell around the world. You'll lose those markets. So what does it do for your domestic companies if you block it here, but you didn't cover the planet? If anything, the tariffs, in my opinion, are a representation of how much America has fallen behind economically, that you can't even produce with the cars anymore. If Americans put apart $10, but Chinese can produce $100 for $1,000, you're not going to put on for them. Once again, tariffs are simply going to be masking the band-aid. For example, me putting a tariff on this product is not going to change the fact that I cannot produce the level of China can. So let me ask you a question. If I put a tariff on those products or those vehicles, does that change the fact that China can produce more than me? No. If anything, the tariffs only signify how much you're throwing behind. Now here's the thing: if you want to put the tariffs and if you want to put the quote unquote tariffs as a way to kind of build up your industries and so you can compete later on, that's fine. You can do that, but it's got to be strategic, right? But the point is, the way things are going, that's not going to reverse the fact that the economic prowess is going for America. And the way you're doing it now is actually just going to make things worse, and it's going to have the rest of the world put tariffs on you back. All countries tariffs for a negotiation at the point if you cannot complete, you make the price or people who side with you. Okay, fine, you can do that, but what I'm saying, once again, it has to be strategic, though. If you were doing this specifically because you're trying to build your own market, that's fine, it's one thing. But the problem is, the way it's going right now, that's not... Trump putting these tariffs not going to all of a sudden make America the biggest industrial giant. That's not going to happen. But and second of all, if you're going to do just a blink, like a whole like sledgehammer type of situation, that's not going to work. It's only going to backfire on you. It's only going to economically harm you. And what's going to end up happening is that all of those other countries are just going to end up putting the tariffs back on you. Once again, Leon, look, we don't gotta argue. The economists are saying this. And once again, we will see what happens. Whether Trump's tariffs is gonna make America an industrial giant again, we'll see. We'll see, Leon. And I can promise you this, that at the end of this process, Trump's tariffs is not going to all of a sudden make America be able to compete with China economically. Trump's tariffs is not going to automatically make America become the biggest industrial power again. Trump's tariffs is not going to automatically stop China's rise. It's not. If anything, or create a trade war which will only hurt America's economy and accelerate the rest of the world moving towards China anyway. So we don't got to argue about this. All we got to do is wait and see. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And I have I bet, I can bet everything on the fact that it's going to play out exactly the way the economists now are saying. Okay? It's going to play out exactly the way the economists, the PhDs, and I are saying. America is not going to all of a sudden to tariffs reverse decline. America is not going to all of a sudden to tariffs become the biggest industrial base again. That's not going to happen. All that will happen is a trade war. Like it's going to happen the same thing that Leon, Trump did this in his first term. It failed. All that's going to happen is, just like his first term, he'll do a trade war. The trade will fail. It'll backfire in America. Except this time it'll be worse because this time he's going even further. It'll only accelerate America's decline, accelerate the economic move towards China and the rest of the globe. That's what's going to happen. Watch. Okay? Like, this is how retarded shit has gotten. From AB Media talking about he doesn't know that a majority of white folks in the South on the Republican Party, to now fucking Leon trying to pretend as if the tariffs are somehow going to bring back, somehow going to reverse America's economic decline, somehow going to make America once again the biggest industrial power in the world, somehow going to reverse, stop China's rise. It's not going to do that. And he's saying this while completely ignoring the fact that Trump tried the tariffs in his first term and it failed. It failed in his first term, but it's going to work this time around when he goes even further? Like, I'm done. This is why, and the crazy part is, you're seeing this when the guy himself, Trump himself, is saying out of his own mouth that he knows his policies could lead to recession. But no, it don't matter. See, That's why I can take it seriously. Yes, all countries to some extent I think are open to doing tariffs and doing tariffs, but the problem is that you have to be strategic in that. Because if you go too far in that, what's going to end up happening is other nations will just fire back on you, hurting your economy, hurting your export, hurting your businesses. So even though most countries try and do the tariff thing, they try and do it in a way that's balanced out, or I guess does not cause too much blowback. Because you don't believe the way you tariff that person, okay, they can find stuff that you have put at them and tariff you back. So even the way most countries do it, it's strategic. So if I put a tariff on this product, or if I try to go too far on the tariff or too much, they can say, okay, well, this export you bring towards us, we'll tariff that too. They'll tariff you back. Just like how Trump is going through it now. Because of how he's going through these tariffs, what's happening? Can all the other countries tariffing America back? Come on now. But I'm done. At the end of the day, man, look. But I'm disappointed. I've entertained the goofiness, the retardedness enough. When it comes to AB Media, when you said that you did not know that you did not know that most white senators are on the Republican Party, I couldn't take it seriously. Leon coming out here trying to pretend as if this tariff policy is going to benefit America, which is dumb. Right? So in other words, fuck what the economists are saying. Fuck everyone's saying, right? Fuck what Trump himself is saying. Even though everybody's saying that this policy is going to hurt the country, no, listen to me. Like at that point, I can't even take it seriously. I'm done. Even though the guy himself is saying that the tariff could hurt the economy. I'm not saying tariffs not a tool. What I'm saying is, if you overuse it can become a problem. Especially when other countries fire back their own tariffs. So it's a tool, but it has to be managed very carefully. It's not just, we're going to just slap blanket tariffs on everybody and think they won't fire back? Come on, bro. And there won't be consequences? So, AB Media, you've already shown to me that you're fucking retarded. If you don't know that most if you don't know AB Media, you've shown to me that you're fucking retarded. If you don't know that most white senators are on the Republican Party, I can talk to you no more. And when it comes to Leon, look, if you are going to say that, hey, ignore the economists, ignore the PhD, ignore what Trump is fucking saying, and just listen to you, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I am done with that shit. So, moving forward, I'm only dealing with the facts. So, AB, I want to make it very clear again, one last time. AB, once you said that you did not know that most white Southerners are in the South, I was done with you. And Leon, once you said that ignore the economists, ignore the PhDs, hell, ignore what Trump says himself, and just listen to you, a random guy on YouTube, I was done with you too. It is what it is. So I'm done with that. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. I've been here way longer than I expected, but yeah. With that being said, thank you, y'all. Hammer out. Like, share, subscribe, hammer out.